First of all, let's talk about what is a smart city. There's so much of talk about smart cities, and I believe a lot of people have various definition of smart cities. So I think before smart city, let's talk about what is a city. Why people come to a city? I might be very happily living in a village. What's my reason to come to city? To me, I think the purpose of anybody deciding to move to a city is an economic activity. It could be a job as a software engineer or could be a job as a construction worker. Anybody who wants to decide to move to a city essentially has an economic reason. So cities come about only for economic activity. So if anything which makes that economic activity easier, more prolific, is essentially will make a city as smart. So for example, if you come to a city and find that moving from point A to point B is very difficult, that means that city is not efficient. Now if you make this movement easy, then city becomes efficient and you can call it is a smart city. Similarly, when you come to a city, lot of people from lot of different places come to a city. People don't know each other. And because of economic activity, lot of people who are antisocial elements also come to city. The second problem of a city is safety. If you make a city unsafe, economic activity will not happen. People will not come to city. So hence, any city which wants to become smart has to make sure that safety aspect is taken care of. So first it is mobility, second it is safety. Now the third aspect of any city is when so many people come together, live in a city, they create lot of issues of cleanliness. It could be garbage management, it could be street cleaning, it could be debris dumping. So a city which is not clean is not efficient. Nobody wants to live in a city which is dirty. So cleanliness is another aspect of a city which needs to be taken care of. And the fourth and most important is when you come to city, you make more buildings, you make more roads, you cut trees, you spoil the lakes, you take care of, you produce a lot of emissions. So most of the cities are becoming unsustainable. So a city which is unsustainable also cannot be economically proactive city. So for any city to be economically proactive and create economic opportunities over and above what is doing already, four aspects need to be taken care of. Mobility, safety, clean and green. So any city which takes care of these aspects and makes the city more efficient, more effective, more livable, where quality of life gets better, and because of that creates more economic opportunities, means more jobs, essentially to me is a smart city. So it's a very simple definition of a smart city where the quality of life for people living in the city gets better and economic activity gets increased, essentially makes a city smart. Now the second aspect, why make a city smart? Well, think of a city like Varanasi. There's a lot of talk about making Varanasi smart city. Now what is it which needs to be done in Varanasi to make it smart? One, economic activity in Varanasi are two types. One is essentially the tourists and pilgrims coming to Varanasi. So if you create situations where more tourists, more pilgrims come to Varanasi, it will add to its economic activity. More people will be employed, there will be more travel activity, more tourist activity, that is one activity. But another very important activity which many people ignore, Varanasi is a very big center for silk saris. Varanasi saris are world famous. Now there are 5 lakh people in Varanasi who are involved in handicraft, weavers. Now if you are going to make Varanasi a smart city, you have to take care of two aspects. One is this aspect of tourism and pilgrimage, and second is the aspect of those 5 lakh weavers which are the economic backbone of Varanasi. Now, whatever you do which will make the life of weavers better, which will also make the economic activity related to tourism and pilgrimage more prolific, will make Varanasi smart. So this will require better roads, better footpaths where people can walk, will require cleanliness, will require that you do not pollute Ganges. Today Ganges is very polluted. So a lot of people don't want to go because they think the Varanasi is very dirty. Many people will be happy to do business in Varanasi. The silk saree business will improve and which will create additional employment. Now whatever is required to make this happen essentially will contribute to making Varanasi a smart city. So should Varanasi be made a smart city? Yes, it should. Now this is the reason, and this is the only reason to choose any city to make it smart, because India has 7,000 cities, out of which we are talking about in the first phase to make 100 cities smart. So which 100 cities should be chosen? In my opinion, the reason to make any city smart should be that you are going to increase the economic activity. By increasing the economic activity, you are going to create additional job opportunities and you are going to make the quality of life for people living in that city better. These should be the only two reasons to make any city smart. So when you are choosing a city, just ask, why am I making this city smart? If you are adding by making the smart improvements, by making the smart interventions, if you are going to add to economic activity, and that will lead to additional jobs and better quality of life for the city people, you should choose that city. Now the third aspect, I defined what is a smart city, why a smart city. Now the question comes, how to make a city smart. So I'll give a very simple example. First of all, we have to be very careful not to define a smart city definition which is universal, because every city has its unique opportunities and unique challenges. Think of a place like Bangalore. Economic activity in Bangalore is plenty. You do not need to work to attract investment to Bangalore. But only thing is, investment will not come to Bangalore if you are not going to take care of traffic jams, if you are not going to take care of the garbage problem. So in Bangalore, to make Bangalore smart so that economic activity can be increased, you need to take care of traffic problem. You need to take care of mobility part of it. Just give a simple example. Assuming 1 lakh people are stuck in traffic jam 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the evening. So imagine 4 lakh man hours are lost every day. Now each man hour, even if you take $10, which is very less for IT industry, you are talking about $40 lakh being wasted every single day. And these are very conservative estimates. So making Bangalore smart by improving the mobility, by reducing the traffic congestion, you are adding to the economic activity of Bangalore. Now for Varanasi, it could be something different. For Varanasi, making Varanasi smart could be taking care of this 5 lakh weavers. Maybe create a special economic zone for them so that they can get tax benefits, they can get better infrastructure, help them with the export promotion. Making Tirupur a smart city will require a different intervention. For Vizag, there will be different intervention. So for each city, you need a unique intervention. An intervention will come in many areas. You can have intelligent traffic management system. You need sensors. So a sensor will decide in the morning the green time in one direction is more. In the evening, when people are coming back from the offices, the green time of the signal will be more in the opposite direction. Similarly, you can use the sensors for making sure that if there is a water leakage, is immediately detected and plugged. Otherwise, very precious water, like city like Bangalore, Kaveri is 200 kilometers away. The water comes from 200 kilometers and it climbs almost 300 meters. Now, by wasting water because of leakage, there is a huge economic loss. So, by putting technology which can detect the leakage faster and can be fixed faster, you are going to make cities smart. Similarly, usage of power. You can have a smart meters. You can encourage people to put solar panels on their roofs. So when they generate more power than they can use, they can give power back to the city. So these are the interventions, whether it is traffic management, whether it is sewage management, whether it is water management, safety, very big issue. I mean, city like Bangalore is a mega city. There are a lot of issues which make the city unsafe. Chain snatching. Now, how are you going to use technology to improve the chain snatching? You can have 5,000 cameras deployed across the city. You can have incident reporting mechanism. You can have ambulance management systems. So technology is just the enabler. It is for the city to decide what kind of interventions, technology or otherwise, they want to make into their city so that life in city becomes easier. The quality of life in the city improves, and with that economic activity will improve, and that will lead to more jobs, which is the most important problem of this country. Eventually in 50 years, all cities will become smart. But the question today is, which cities should be in the first list of 100? And the first list of 100, only those cities should be chosen which have an economic potential. The cities where, by making an investment into smart technologies, into smart management systems, we can increase the economic activity and create more job opportunity. So our Prime Minister's idea of smart cities and Make in India, actually they are linked. You should make goods in the cities which are smart. By making goods in the cities which are smart, you are going to create more job opportunities. This should go hand in hand. It cannot happen that Make in India happens in a city which is unlivable, because nobody is going to make in a city which is unlivable. People are going to make factories, set up their offices only in the cities which are livable. So Make in India and smart cities should go hand in hand. And I would suggest that most of these cities should be existing cities, because creating a new city takes 40 to 50 years. So new cities also can be created only when there is an economic activity. If you create a semiconductor fab somewhere, maybe city will come around. Create a refinery, the city will come around it. Create a steel factory, city will come around it. But most of the activity happens in and around existing cities. So most of our smart city investments should go into existing cities, so-called brownfield cities. And those cities should be carefully chosen. So for example, Bangalore can be made a smart innovation city, because Bangalore has defense industry, it has space industry, it has IT, it has biotech, it has manufacturing. Think of any innovation, it can happen in Bangalore. Varanasi could be a cultural or heritage city along with handicraft city. Moradabad could be brass city. Tirupur could be knitwear city. Kanpur can be a leather city or textile city. So I believe that every city, when it presents its case to the government of India to be considered for a smart city, first question to be asked, by making your city smart, how many jobs are you going to create? What is the export your city is doing today? If it's doing 3,000 crores, by making it smart, are you going to make it 15,000 crores or 6,000 crores? If the answer is yes, it should be considered. If the answer is no, I just want to improve my sewage, I want to create footpaths, I want to create fancy traffic management system, and if it is not going to increase the economic activity, that investment is waste, because even if you make that investment, it will not be able to sustain itself. Footpaths will be broken, there will be no money to fix them. Street light signals will not work, there will be no money to replace them. So investing into cities which cannot sustain themselves economically is a bad investment, and only criteria to select the cities should be based on the economic activity and potential of economic activity. Some cities may not be doing too much of economic activity today, but they may have potential. Please look at that. So this is what essentially what, why and how of smart cities. Thank you.